that Ireland is going to be one of the countries that delivers one of these global brands. And I'd like to maybe in this little segment convince you as to why Ireland is going to be the European hub for global cannabis companies. I'm sure you'd agree that a lot of the investment opportunities and the M&As that are happening, some of the London Stock Exchange stuff is exciting industry. So I think a lot of the North American companies are definitely going to position themselves for a European entry at some stage. Would you agree?
Absolutely. You know, I have a special place in my heart for Ireland. I was born in India. When I was 8, I actually moved to Ireland. My parents are doctors and they worked there, and I lived there for 6 years. And you know, I was educated partly in Ireland and then came to the US. And I can say, you know, given where Ireland has positioned itself, the only English-speaking member right now of the EU, being known for its tax benefits to large corporations that have already from other industries utilized it as such. It's a natural landing pad for the larger companies, for innovation around this area, for brand creation, for interaction with between the US and EU. So I'm very excited. I plan on making a business trip out there and really getting a detailed sense of what the opportunities are. But I think you've already got a brand in that space. Ireland already has a brand in that space. And so it's all about how do you convert that and how do you convince the regulators to open up more business around the cannabis space. And that, by the way, is just a snowball effect happening right now. If you look at the US and you have any kind of doubt about legalization in the US, just think of the fact that Canada and Mexico are going to be legal federally, and the US is going to be sitting there missing out on tax revenue dollars. Post-COVID, everybody wants to address deficits, and any kind of new source of revenue generation is golden. So I always, you know, people in the industry complain that we get taxed too much. I think it's a beautiful thing to get taxed too much right now, because eventually, as the lobbying continues, as we go towards legalization and beyond, everybody's then going to start looking at tax efficiency. And Ireland's going to be very much at the nexus of that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think there's going to be a lot of the services will be based in Ireland. A lot of the kind of B2B business operations will be based in Ireland. Granted, there might be genetics in North America, but I still think it'll make sense over time to have greenhouses set up in Ireland, extraction facilities set up in Ireland, logistic companies set up in Ireland. So I think it's an exciting future ahead for Ireland and North America and Europe in the next 5 to 10 years. And hopefully we get to chat about this again in the next few months when we've got things to progress about.
Absolutely. I hope your regulators in Ireland are watching and they make a move in the right direction. And, you know, part of Bar Capital's work is to promote and educate people and help find the right ways to open up this market.
Perfect. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Anand. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and I hope we get to chat again very soon.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. It was a pleasure here as well.
Bye-bye.